What is the story of the golden card valued at $5 million, which allows entry into the United States, obtaining permanent residency and later citizenship, as well as many other privileges? I will explain to you. The American President Donald Trump, during his second term, announced that he then will issue what is called the golden card or the golden residency card within the United States. This idea was proposed by him and his special assistant. This card costs approximately $5 million US. This visa will enable you to come to the United States, reside permanently, and also invest in the American economy. However, what distinguishes this new visa, the golden visa, is firstly that anyone can obtain it. Secondly, the restrictions imposed on the holder of this visa will be very minimal. Thirdly, the holder of this visa will receive numerous tax exemptions when investing within the United States. What is the story in detail? Let me explain it to you. But first, don't forget to support us by subscribing to the channel and liking the video. Let's start the story from the beginning. On February 25th, President Donald Trump announced the Golden Card, which is valued at $5 million. Through this card, a person can obtain a golden residency within the United States. This card allows you to receive benefits in terms of taxes on your investments, as well as access to Social Security and medical insurance like any American citizen within the United States. It is important to know that the United States has had many different cards for entering the country for a long time. Among these cards is a special card for entry for the purpose of investing in America. This card, as we mentioned earlier, is valued at approximately $1 million and is the investment card if you intend to enter the United States as an investor category. Now, however, this card also comes with some restrictions. The holder of this card does not enjoy many tax exemptions, like the new card or the golden card. Additionally, the current card holder does not benefit from medical insurance or a retirement program, like the new golden card. Of course, the card we are currently discussing is the EBS visa, which, as we mentioned, is valued at $1 million, and this amount is directly invested in projects. The holder of this visa must employ approximately no less than 10 American citizens and invest this amount directly, as we mentioned, in projects and infrastructure within the United States. This is regarding the current card or visa. However, in the new visa or the new card, which is the golden card, the situation is different, as the $5 million will be paid directly into the US Treasury by the person without engaging in investment projects or employing labor or such activities. Undoubtedly, the current ABS program, which is the old program, is successful despite being old for a long time, because it creates direct job opportunities for Americans within the United States. However, the new card, as we mentioned, or the golden card, involves injecting $5 million into the US Treasury. The US Treasury, in turn, reallocates or evaluates this money based on the channels it deems appropriate within the American banking sectors or the US economy. Here, an American citizen cannot obtain or own a job directly except through government programs later on. The American president also stated that he wants to sell around 1 million visas of this type. Of course, we are talking about a large number. A single visa is valued at $5 million, and we are talking about $5 trillion US being directly injected into the US Treasury. This is undoubtedly a significant amount. The question now is whether the new program, the Golden Card, will run parallel to the existing programs like the Green Card and the ABS card that we talked about, or if it will solely rely on the Golden Card and consequently cancel the old programs, or how will things proceed? Will this new program, the Golden Card, serve as a window through which American companies can employ individuals from countries that are under restrictions by the United States? What we've heard so far is that yes, these companies can employ individuals from these countries. This means that the person is highly skilled, implying that the company will not only inject $5 million into an American treasury, but also that this person will contribute high technological skills to the American industry. Therefore, it's a gain for the American treasury and also a benefit for American industry and technology. On the other hand, it's not only American companies that want to employ skilled labor or workers from other countries, but we know that all over the world, there are many people, business people or individuals with wealth who want or are seeking to obtain citizenships or permanent residencies in countries like the United States. This is because they might be uncertain in their own countries or the countries where they reside, countries with political or geopolitical issues. Also, let's not forget that individuals who can directly inject $5 million into the US Treasury are, of course, wealthy because they not only have $5 million, but also possess substantial capital. Therefore, they have the capital that can be invested in the American economy and in creating projects and employing a large number of American workers as well. But of course, we know that it is not only the United States that has these visas for entering the country, but there are other countries that have the same program for entry or obtaining permanent residency in exchange for a certain full value, like Portugal and Italy. All these countries have their own programs, which are programs for obtaining special residency or obtaining a passport for these countries in exchange for injecting a certain liquidity into the treasury or the economy of these countries. Obtaining alternative passports and visas is now a very large investment globally, estimated at approximately $20 billion up to that moment. Another question, will the category of Russian oligarchs be eligible for this golden program or not? Before I answer this question, let me clarify who the Russian oligarchs are. In the past, before the collapse of the Soviet Union, there were of course wealthy individuals and businessmen within the Soviet Union who possessed a lot of money and wealth. And of course, we know that before its collapse, the Soviet Union had a lot of assets and properties outside the borders of Russia. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, these investors or businessmen, through certain intermediaries or by paying certain bribes, purchased many of the Soviet Union's assets outside Russia's borders. As a result, they became wealthier and owned a significant amount of the former Soviet Union's assets. These are the Russian oligarchs. The question is, will these oligarchs be able to enter the United States through this golden visa? You should know that these individuals, the Russian oligarchs, face significant restrictions and limitations on their entry into the United States. In short, the answer is that they can obtain the golden visa by paying $5 million, allowing them to enter the United States without any restrictions. Of course, this golden visa program has some drawbacks, such as the requirement for the United States to verify the source of the capital of the person coming to it in order to avoid widespread money laundering activities. As we mentioned, the visa is still under review in the US Congress because the approval of the US Congress on visas is always very important before the law is presented to the president or officially signed by the current president. President Trump has openly stated that he wants to sell this type of visa. After March, meaning that in the coming days we will find all the details and information about this matter available in the consulates or US embassies around the world. In conclusion, don't forget to support us by subscribing to the channel and liking the video. Have a good evening.